Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the NextGen Icon series. And today we have an entrepreneur. He's the CEO of Nicotech Gadgets, a fast rising, reliable brand for its quality phones, laptops, and tech accessories. Join me to welcome Nicholas Obi. Hi Nicholas. So we have some questions for you today.
Okay.
And yeah, our first question is, how did you journey into tech sales entrepreneurship? Like, what's your Nicotech about?
Okay. First of all, Nicotech started more of let's say more of side hustle, but it was also an interest. Because right from when I was younger, yeah, I've always loved using phones and gadgets. But you know how Nigerian parents are now. There was always this talk of you get distracted if you're using this, you get distracted if you're using that. I really never paid attention to those things anyways. But there were times in my life where I just want to say because of how I knew the kind of knowledge I had about phones and gadgets, then a few friends just, oh, Afa, I'm going to this place, so Afa, follow me so at least we understand this stuff. And from there, I just started gaining the interest. Sometimes I would meet people that I used to sell, tell them, oh, but I'm bringing someone to come and buy from you. So once I bring this person, just give me your price. I'll tell the person the price and I would sell for them. So I think more of how I started had to do with I was more of a reseller. That is the term they use in Computer Village, basically. I was more of a reseller. But in Igbo terms, I think in Igbo terms they call it Osahia, like fast work you get to. That's how my business started, basically. Then with time, I just started associating with people, started gathering money, and from there, that was how I started.
Our next question, what are the proudest milestones you've hit so far running this business since it's a competitive space?
Well, um, I think the proudest was my first actual year when I decided, okay, I wanted to go fully into this business. My first year was my proudest, basically, because as at the time, a year before then, I not fully a year anyways. I started this business. Let's just say I started by November, 3 months in towards the Ember month, then the following year. That period, I was making the first amount of money I made was about 300k, 300k to 400. Now that was something to me, anyways. It's not like I had not seen more at that time, but it was something to me because it was a business. You understand? And that money, I wasn't really keeping the mindset that I really wanted to grow the business. As at the time, I wasn't keeping the mindset that I wanted to grow the business. What I wanted to do was make the money and save in case I wanted to do something with it later on. So, as at the time I started the business, the first mindset I had was at least each year, I wanted to make my at least 1 million naira each year. I was what I was telling myself. If I start this business now, at least the next 3 years, I should have about 3 million to 4 million naira. That's what I was telling myself. But luckily for me, during my first year, I made way more than that. It was at least, for instance, let's just say my first month in that business, I could realize that I was making at least, let's say about a million plus.
Wow, in a
Yeah,
month.
in a month.
Wow.
So it was more of I was happy because well, it wasn't something I was expecting. So when I realized at least by the end of the year, I did my calculation. I saw how much I made, and I saw that okay, because the initial mindset was I was going to be saving. So even the first 400,000 naira that I made, I kept it inside piggy vest. So I didn't want to invest it. I just left it that way. So I started making more and started growing. So I think the best so far was realizing that okay, my initial ambition, I surpassed it at least within that year.
Our next question is, what personal qualities or habits helped you stand out and earn trust in the market?
Okay, my personal qualities, well, general or generally when it comes to business. I feel like everybody's personal qualities or what personal qualities you're supposed to have is number one, you need to actually be honest. Honesty is one of the main things. Now, people like to people that are respectful. If they come to your office or come to your shop, they want you to be able to respond to them well. Now, the things that happen in the market are a bit in and out in the sense that sometimes customers might come back with complaints. Some might be very rude to you, but you need to be able to know how to handle them.
Yeah.
You need to have patience with customers. Customers can get on your nerves. That's just the truth.
Truly.
They can really get on your nerves. Sometimes they might not even have issues that they know that might develop. Okay, for instance, um, imagine selling a phone to someone today. The phone was perfect. Then 2 days later, the person told me that okay, the phone had ink on the screen, like ink was showing on the screen. The ink wasn't there when we gave it to the person, right? Now, according to the policy of compatibility, we know that we have for used phones, we have 1 week warranty. For a brand new phone, it comes with a 1 month warranty from us, then the exact Apple warranty on the phone. That's for brand new. So now we know that except it was caused, the damage was caused by maybe physical damage, maybe you fell the phone down, that kind of thing. So now we'll assist you with the payment of repair. We would at least give you we will assist with a certain percentage from the payment, and you bring the remaining percentage. But this particular lady that came to buy from us, what she did was she said the ink came out, that ink was on the screen. That she didn't know that the phone just went off and came back on and the ink was on the screen, which from my experience, compatibility it is very, very possible. I knew that she was not being honest. I was angry, but I told her that I was trying to explain to her that this thing was not from us. This is a physical damage and it was obvious. But she didn't agree. She threatened to call police. You know this kind of that kind of thing. And you just look at it, you'll be like, well, I just did the normal thing I could as I just did the normal thing I could, right? Which is to fix the phone. I had to fix it with my money.
Wow.
I fixed it, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. My customer. This was the first time customer, mind you. Then it now got to a point after a month, because I view her status. Then she posted something. She was explaining to her friend that Omo, say this is my phone. She was not telling the friend on her status that this is my phone fell down and like the thing brought out ink, so I had to change the screen. So I'm about to even change the phone later on. So maybe change it to a 14 Pro because she bought a 12 Pro Max. She just wants to change it to a 14 Pro. I think her friend also wanted to change her phone. That kind of, so she was explaining to the person. I saw it, and obviously I could not even hold myself. Yeah, I could not hold myself to. I had to text her to tell her that, Omo, you can see this thing that you did.
Casted.
I just put. I just said I was like, I just wrote, wow. That's what I said. She was like, no, it's not like that. I didn't bother replying because I knew that if I had said more, I would have said something worse. I would have said things that would not make sense. So you just have to know that customers can be a bit, they can be a bit unpredictable. But sometimes you just have to be able to handle them, ignore some things, accept some things, be honest, and make sure that you can handle money properly. Those are just the major things you need to know in business, especially when you're doing this kind of business I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Our next question is, what were the toughest challenges you faced as a young entrepreneur and how did you overcome them?
Well, the youngest challenges I faced, number one, it was hard to, at that point, I started when obviously, I was in school. So it was hard to balance school life and business. Well, it was a very difficult thing because I had to maintain grade. At the same time, I had to make sure that I do my business well, attend to my customers properly. Now, there were times when I felt like I needed to, why not just leave this business? There are times, even in the business, that you have difficulties. Maybe that month you're not really selling. That month you have sports devices. Your phones will just will just go off. You start experiencing losses. Now, those times you just have to remind yourself the reason why you're doing that business. I know that there are bad times in business. Every time, sometimes you might say certain months and the amount of money you think you'll be expecting, you
Yes,
won't see it.
yes.
you might collect goods on credit. You might not be able to pay up. People will be on your neck, pressure. So and now experiencing all this while being in school, because you have to go for classes. The pressure of writing exams, the pressure of passing tests, pressure of doing assignments and the rest. There was a lot. But I would say the major thing that really helped me, number one, was my parents. First off, parents. Secondly, friends. And thirdly, more of how would I put it, motivation. I had to motivate myself because if you don't motivate yourself, nobody's going to help you do that. So you need to have people who are willing to back you. You get, I had friends even in school because, like I said, the major problem I had was balancing
Academics.
academics with business. So my parents and my siblings helped me in my business a lot. My friends in school helped me in my education because sometimes I would want to just, I'll be too tired to even come out for classes. But they will push me, oh, come outside, go for class. You get, Joshua, where are you? You know you come for class today. If I'm slacking, they'll tell you, bro, you're wasting too much time. What's your problem? You've not come out for class since, let's be serious, this semester. Oh. They will push me, and at least, by God's grace, at least I maintained a very good grade. So it was something that these three factors were the major things that helped me. My family, my my friends, and just my own personal motivation. It really helped me to overcome those issues. Yeah, so
Okay. So, next question. How do you stay ahead of trends and maintain quality in a fast moving tech market?
okay, well, maintaining quality and moving with trend is one thing a lot of people do not really think about when doing this business. Because sometimes you look at it and you just be like, well, it's just a normal thing. If everybody's updating their phone, you update. If everybody's doing this, they do the same thing. But I feel like when it comes to following trend, I'm not really into clothing brands, you get, which has to do with trend, music has to do with trend. But this particular kind of business I do, moving with trend is a bit tricky because once the phone, when there's an update on that phone or an update on a particular gadget, you yourself have to do it. Sometimes you don't even need to do them. Your customers will do them, you get. But when I would say following trend, I would be like, okay, probably there are times when a particular you want to boost yourself in the market. Now you have to think of ways to do them. For instance, some people come and you see people say, "Oh, buy this, get this for free." You get, do this, get this. Now that is one way of keeping yourself ahead of your counterparts because almost everybody does this in the market. Some people tell you if you buy from me, I will give you pouch and screen guard. But there's something I do. I make sure I do them at least every 2 months. I make sure I do them. My first month, within those 2 months, first month sometimes beginning of the month, what I do is my best customers, people that purchased from me, at least five of them, I make sure I send them money. I'll just tell them, oh, please send me your account number. Let me
Wow.
just send money to. Sometimes I send them 30K, 50K, at least the one depending on how much I have to send to them at that time. Or send them money, okay, thank you very much for your patronage. First one. Sometimes in a month like this month now, I said okay, from the 30th of this month till the 10th of next month, which is August. Oh, this is first. From the 30th of last month to the 10th of this month, that I will be giving out perfumes and AirPods to any customer that buys a phone at least above the range of 200K. Now, using that method, the kind of perfumes I'm giving them is not cheap. It's not a perfume that is going to be cheap, obviously. And the AirPods are obviously expensive. So now this is me trying my best to be ahead of people because sometimes giving pouch and screen guard is not bad. But once customer sees that, oh, I'm buying something worth my money and at the same time you're giving me something that is at least above the amount I'm paying for, they would want to buy. And even people that don't meet up within this first to 10th, when they hear that you do something like that, it attracts more
Mhm.
customers. So I think when it comes to following trends and trying to beat people in the market because of the competition, you have to make sure that whatever your quality, number one, has to be of value, has to make sense. Number two, make sure that you're doing whatever your counterparts are doing, you're doing it better. Like I said, people give screen guard, and I give something more expensive. When you look at it, you know that this is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give more. And I think that those two things will help you stay ahead of your counterparts in every way possible. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, our next question: what advice would you give to other young people looking to start a business, especially tech or retail?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, you know, the problem we as Nigerians face majorly is our parents, especially young people. Parents feel that, oh, school is the main thing. Now, when I use the word feel, it's not like I'm trying to downgrade education. It is very good. You get. Now, why I said education is very good is because something my father always tells me here. Just tell me that now the way I do business is not the way my friends do business. The people that do not go to school, the way they do business is not the way you that went to school will
You
do
do
business.
business. Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of people that do not. Why a lot of people go bankrupt in business? Now I'm talking about small scale businesses now or large scale, basically. They go bankrupt because of lack of money management. Now, when you go to school and you're educated, you will know exactly the right things to spend money on, the right things not to spend money on, which is one. Number two, education is going to give your mind, keep you broad in your thinking. You get, you'll be able to know exactly the kind of people to connect with, the kind of people. If you go to a meeting where you see CEOs and entrepreneurs having a conversation, now only the learned, because when they're having conversation, if you don't know anything when they're talking, you won't be able to speak.
Yeah.
Only the learned will be able to talk. Now, in the midst of people that have pedigree, when they are speaking, you don't really know much, you might be afraid to speak. But when you know something, you know exactly what people are talking about, you're educated on this particular topic, you'll be able to speak, and from there, you'll be able to mix up with people that can even help you build up connections that can help you build your business. So education is very, very paramount. So I'm not taking away what our parents say, but one thing is you need to be able to show your parents. You know, the major thing, I didn't say this, but the major reason why my father was very comfortable at some point with allowing me to do business is because I proved myself. Now he spoke, he told me, I don't want you to do this. But when he saw that there were certain things that I could do on my own, you get. Now, there were times I told my dad, you know what, stop. At this point, I'm your last born because we're five in the family. All my siblings went to private universities. I also went to private university, obviously. But he used to take care of them. But there's something I really appreciate my father for. Yeah. Then he used to give my sisters, not like he couldn't give them more, but he used to give them at least 10,000 naira a month. Now, it's not like he was trying to be wicked to them, but when you go through a certain stage in your life where you know that this 10,000 naira is not enough for me, sometimes in between the month, he will send you more. You get. Now, he's doing it as a father. We all understood what he was trying to do. He was trying to build you or build us. Because some people, they give them 100K, they get too comfortable with life.
Oh,
Give you 200K, you get comfortable with life. But when you know your parents are giving you little to nothing, but it's not like when you ask, they won't give you. You get. But the kind of person I was, I did not ask. So I like to do things on my own. So sometimes if people ask me, why is that when your money finish, you just tell me. But when I came into Caleb University for the first time, what my dad told me was, I'll be sending you 10,000 every month. I want you to be able to manage this money. There is a reason why I'm doing it. And I saw it from his perspective and I understood. Number one, he taught me money management. That time, I could spend 500 naira a day. No, I was able to hold myself. I could spend 500 naira a day because I wasn't really making money as a then. How much did I have then? So with time and as I started proving myself, I told my dad, okay, stop. It's better. I can be able to take care of some things. But you know what? My father is one person. Even if you tell him to stop, he will still
you
send.
tell you.
So you get. So I knew at that point he started seeing me that, oh, I could start now I can take care of certain things. I was growing up, at least my business was standing. He knew. And it's not like I was doing fraud. So he knew the kind of business I was doing. He has been there, he has seen it. So he knew that, oh, I was doing well, but at the same time, he was still doing his fatherly duties. Now, some other parents would discourage you. And why I said I had to prove myself is because sometimes when your parents tell you, don't do this, in as much, I'm not talking about the bad things. Your parents tell you, don't do fraud, please don't do fraud. But now, when you're doing a business, you know that this is what you want to do. And you're sure in yourself, within you, you know that this thing is good. Try as much as possible to chase it well and to make sure that you prove your parents wrong. Now, once you start to prove them wrong, they will be able to leave you, they will be able to give you that freedom to do what you want to do.
Mm.
Now, at that point, they know that, yeah, this one is already getting matured in mind. So, first of all, make sure that even if your parents are telling you not to do something, try your best to work hard to prove them wrong, especially when it is right. It is a good thing you're doing. Try and prove them wrong. Not all businesses will work out, obviously, but you make sure that whatever you're doing, make sure that they see the vision you're seeing in that thing. Number one, that is going to help you. Number two, you should just be able to know how to manage money.
Mm.
Money management is one thing that is very paramount in everybody's life, both women, both men. Money management is something that is very, because if you make, no matter how much you make, extravagant spending is not going to help. I have friends that make more than me. I have friends that make more than me. I have friends that don't even, that they have money more than I do. You get, but there are certain things they do I cannot do it because I know my pockets. You get, I'm not saying
Mm.
don't enjoy yourself. You go out, you flex, you do whatever you want to do as a guy or as a lady. You know whatever it is you want to do as a guy, as a lady, but you just have to be able to understand that, okay, this money that these people are making is not the same amount of money I am making. So you have to, according to my friend, he doesn't say cut your coat according to your size. He says cut your coat according to your material. So now the money where you get, the money that you have, you would know that, oh, this is a certain amount of money I can spend from
Mm.
here. So I feel like money management and same thing, it still has to do with motivation, but trying your best to make sure that you prove people wrong when you're doing the right thing. Those are the two things that I just feel like young people should be able to emulate.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No
So
problem.
our next question, how do you manage stress, customers' expectation, and personal growth as a business owner?
Most times, managing stress and personal expectations, well, as a businessman, if I notice that there are certain goals I do not reach or certain things I don't do, the only thing I do is pray. That is the only thing. There are times where I will look in a month, you will see business going bad. When I mean going bad, customer will come to your office. Next thing, I'm not buying again. Maybe you're about to make. So okay, for instance, as at last month, a customer came to the office and wanted to get told me that she wanted to get an iPhone. No, a guy told me that he wanted to get an iPhone 16, six different iPhone 16s. I know how much I gave to him and I know how much I was supposed to make. Well, the amount I was supposed to make was at least more than, at least very close to 1 million as profit. Now the customer came and well, the people I kept in charge because I was in school. Who I kept in charge really messed up the business for me. Number one, they delayed. They brought when I told them, told you, I gave you instructions, do this, do this. They went to do the direct opposite. Customer got angry and left. I went to get from somewhere else. The person told me, oh, I got from somewhere else. Now, that is business gone bad. I was angry at that moment. I was so pissed, but I couldn't really do much because that time I was writing exam. You get, I was writing an exam, so I couldn't really do much. I just knew that okay, at this point I've lost this deal. But what did I do? I was like, God, please, I beg, help me. Make us at least let me make this amount of money back. Even if the money I didn't lose, you get, it's not like I lost the money from my pocket, but I lost potential profit. Now that hurts a lot when you know that this is a certain amount of money you're supposed to see. The next day you're not seeing it again because of somebody else's mistake. Now it hurts. But at that time, the only thing you can do is just to pray. Just tell God, please bring in customers. Because without God, honestly speaking, there's really nothing you can do. You can work from now till next year. But when you don't pray or when you don't ask God, you don't bring your problems towards or forward to God. There's really nothing, not no matter the amount of work you do in this life, you will not see results except God is with you. So I feel like how I handle it is just prayer. Just ask God to help me, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our next question: do you see yourself as a next gen icon, and what impact do you intend to make?
Right from small. So that question that is a direct yes. Because when I was small, I've always thought to see myself, oh, I want to be known by the whole world. You get, I've always envied the life of celebrities. Not now, anyways, because I feel like now, when you're small, when you're growing up, it's a different mentality. Now, I just want to be more of someone that can help people around me, make sure help my family, help friends, help people around my environment, so long as I have it. You get, I don't need my name to be out there because there are certain challenges towards that. I do not want to experience that. I want to have money and be low key and help people.
And be lucky.
I want I want a very, very soft life. I don't want people to know me. I also want to be known by my people for the kind of things I do. You get, I feel like the best thing I can do for myself, or my greatest achievement, to be able to help my family and to help friends. When I know that there are certain problems I see people facing and I can help without overthinking it. When I can remove a certain amount of money from my account without feeling it. That is what my biggest achievement is. And that is what I aspire to do. So obviously from when I was young, I've always seen myself that okay, I want to be an icon. I want people to know me for good, for the kind of business I do. Till now, I sometimes like I went to Dangote refinery, not refinery, like the cement. I went there, I saw the enterprise, I saw the building, I was like, there's only one person that owns this thing. The person does not have two heads. I see rich people having businesses, complexes, like houses everywhere. And you look at it like this person does not have five head. This person also had this money. He worked his way towards money. So me, I can do the same. So I try my best to make sure that I achieve. You see that thing, I must pursue it. And that is why right, like I said, when I was younger, I've always seen myself that okay, I must be an icon. You get, I must grow up to be someone that people know for good, not for bad. You get, not just for the name of it, but for the kind of things I've been able to give out to the society. So yeah, I've been able to, obviously, I see myself that way. So yeah.
So our next question: how do you build trust with customer, and what does customer satisfaction mean to you?
Well, customer satisfaction is everything. It means everything to me. And building customer trust is hard. It's hard. But I feel like it's something that is worth achieving, something you can achieve. You get. So customer satisfaction basically is making sure that your customers are very, very content and happy with what you're giving to them. Your services, your attention, you get, and building trust. Number one, you shouldn't be comfortable stealing people's money. In this business that I've been to, this business I am doing, I have seen people, customers will send them money, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. I need so amount of goods. And the next thing they do end up doing is running away with the money. Now, I have someone I trusted once when I was in school. I sent him, he said he wanted to sell a phone to me. I sent him about 900,000 for the phone. But until today, I didn't see the money, I didn't see the phone.
Wow.
People do that a lot. Run away with people's money. You trust money to your hand and you run away. So the best thing for you to do is make sure that you're trustworthy. People can be able to send money to you. Now it will take a lot of time, like I said, but it's about building trust. You get, once you've been able to attend to them, once they come to your office, see that oh, this establishment is real. The attention you're giving to them is real. The customer service you're giving to them makes sense. And you're giving them goods at a reasonable price, not overpriced. Now they will tend to trust you. It is normal human psychology. Once you treat someone well, at least for the first time, in human psychology, for the first time, they tend to have this, how do I put it, this passive trust for you. Should I or should I not trust this person? Now that is for the first service you give to them. The second service to give to them or to somebody they know helps to now clarify to them that this person is worth trusting. Now, the first few times for them to even start sending money to you is going to be hard. But once they do it for the first time and they see that you actually deliver, they're very good. So even if they do it 10 times, 100 times, don't take that trust for granted. Make sure you always deliver. So that is the main thing. Building customer trust is making sure that you're trustworthy. Number one, just make sure that they are able to look at you and know that, oh, I can trust this person. Then number two, always always make sure that you attend to your customers properly. You get, it helps. So I feel that is the major thing when it comes to attending to customers and building up customer trust.
Okay. So our last question is, what's next for Nicotech Gadgets? Where do you see yourself in the next years?
Where I see myself in the next few years. Now, I see myself as a producer. There's one aspiration I have. Yeah, there's this mentality I built not too long ago, and I noticed because I read on people and I noticed that people who become billionaires or become names are not people who are comfortable where they are or comfortable with selling what other people have made. Now you have to think outside the box. Like I said, education brings in broad thinking. Now at this point, I want to be a producer. It might not be I want to at least make my own product. Be someone that is part of people who are able to produce new things into the world. You get, the biggest names you hear in the world right now are people who produced, who innovated, who invented. People who invented, like look at Dangote for instance. Now I won't say he invented cement. No, he didn't invent cement. These things were there even before him. But what did he do? He produced his own cement. He didn't take another person's cement and start producing. He had an uncle called Dan Tata. Dan Tata had goods all over the country. But he didn't say, oh, because of Dan Tata's nephew, I will have to start selling what he's selling. He went out and made his own. And now he's bigger than Dan Tata. Most people don't even know who Dan Tata is. There are stories that go around that Dangote started from a poor family. And Dangote was poor. No, he wasn't. His Dan Tata was the richest man in the country as at then. I think Dangote's father too was once Nigeria's richest man. So these people, and they have money, but they are not comfortable with where they are. They don't say, oh, because of that, I have to continue this person's legacy. You have to build the legacy. So in the next few years, I see myself being a producer and an employer of labor. You get, broadening myself into different inventions. You get, and I do not want to get stuck into just producing phones only or selling phones only. In as much as that is going to be a stepping stone for me. But in the next few years, I see myself being part of people that will say, oh, this person was the person who invented this. There was a group of people that invented this, and my name will be part of it. So that's where I see myself. It's not a one day thing, anyways. That's why it's called a vision. It's something I plan to do, something I'm working towards. So yeah, in the next few years, I see myself that way. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, you guys expect Nicholas.
Nicotech, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We're glad to have you here.
No problem.
Thank you so much, and wish you luck in everything you're doing. Have a good time. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.